Hey everyone, and welcome! So, if you've spent any time in Japan, I guarantee you've seen this incredibly cheerful, happy face before. This is Ebisu, and he's one of the most beloved gods in the entire country. He's the guy you pray to for good luck, especially if you're a fisherman or a business owner. But here's the thing. Behind that super familiar smile, there's a fascinating and way more complex story than you'd ever imagine.
So let's get right into it, because the question of who Ebisu actually is, well, it doesn't have just one simple answer. This is not a straightforward case of one god, one identity. The real story behind that famous grin is a journey right into the heart of Japanese mythology, and believe it or not, its relationship with the rest of the world.
All right, so our first stop on this journey to unmask Ebisu is the theory you'll hear most often. This one connects him to a really important figure from the ancient Izumo myths, a god by the name of Koto Shirooni.
Now this is a key name to remember, Koto Shirooni. He was the son of the legendary nation-builder god Okuninishi. The story goes that when the gods from the heavens came down and demanded that his father hand over the land of Japan, where was Koto Shirooni? He was just peacefully fishing out on the water. And he readily agreed to the deal, which made him a powerful symbol of harmony and just gracefully accepting change.
And you can totally see why he became linked with Ebisu. I mean, it all lines up, right? He's a symbol of peace and harmony, perfect for making sure business deals go smoothly. He has that super strong connection to the sea and fishing, which is Ebisu's whole thing. And since he conveys divine will, he could also deliver messages of good fortune. It seems like a perfect match. But that's not the whole story.
Yeah, because the story has a pretty big twist. A second and incredibly important figure shows up on the scene, a completely different kind of god, someone who wasn't from Izuma at all. Okay, get ready for this name. This deity is called Sukuna Hikona no Mikoto. Now this god was tiny, so small the myths say he wore clothes made from moth wings. And he didn't just appear, he arrived in Japan from across the sea, sailing in a little boat made out of a seed pod. He wasn't a local, he was basically a foreign expert.
And this is where it gets really interesting when you see them side by side. Koto Shirooni was family. He was the son, the insider, carrying on the legacy. But Sukuna Hikona, he was a collaborator, an outside partner who brought a whole different set of specialized skills to Okuninushi's nation-building project. So you've got internal stability on one side and external innovation on the other.
And wow, what skills they were. I mean, get this, Sukuna Hikona is credited with introducing some of the absolute pillars of Japanese culture. We're talking knowledge of medicine, the techniques for brewing sake, the discovery of hot springs or onsen, and even advanced farming methods. He was, for all intents and purposes, the original bringer of civilization.
So the big question is, where did this tiny little genius god come from? The myths tell us he came from a place called Tokoyo no Kuni, a name that holds a huge amount of meaning in the ancient Japanese worldview.
Now, this place wasn't just some abstract heaven or afterlife. Tokoyo no Kuni was seen as a real place, somewhere across the ocean, a kind of paradise filled with eternal abundance. And here's the crucial part. It represented this deep belief that an external source, a place beyond Japan, was where all knowledge, technology, and good fortune came from.
Okay, so let's fast forward to the Ebisu we know best today. The guy who's a member of the 7 Lucky Gods, the Shichifukujin. A great way to think of them is like a multinational superstar group, a kind of idol unit of deities brought together to bring everyone good fortune.
Now, just look at this lineup. You've got Daikokoten, Bishamonten, and Benzaiten. They're all originally from India. Then you've got Fukurokuju, Jurajin, and Hote, all from China. And then you've got Ebisu. He's the only one who is originally from Japan.
That's right, just one. Out of 7 all-star gods of fortune, in a group made up of international heavy hitters, Ebisu is the sole representative for Team Japan. That makes his role pretty darn special. So, why him?
Well, while the other gods represented these big, sometimes abstract concepts like wisdom or long life, Ebisu stood for something tangible, something immediate, and something vital to the average person. You know, a good catch of fish and a busy store. He was the god of the here and now, the on-site god who really got the daily grind. That's why he was an absolute must-have for the team.
Okay, so now we can start to bring all these different threads together. On the one hand, we have the internal god of peace, Koto Shirooni. On the other, the external god of knowledge, Sukuna Hikona. And somehow, both of their stories get woven into the single identity of Ebisu.
And you know what? This isn't a contradiction. The fact that this one smiling god of fortune can represent both an indigenous deity and a visitor from overseas, it actually reveals something fundamental about Japanese culture. It's a core belief about where good things really come from.
So here's the main takeaway, this incredibly powerful idea that value, that wisdom, that technology and fortune, it often arrives from the outside. Instead of fearing what was foreign, ancient Japanese culture saw the world beyond its shores as a kind of Tokoyo no Kuni, the ultimate source of blessings. They welcomed it, and they integrated these external gifts.
Which leaves us with this one last thought to chew on. Maybe Ebisu's famous, cheerful grin isn't just about a good haul of fish or making a profit. Maybe that smile is a symbol of something so much bigger, the long history of Japan's remarkable ability to welcome ideas from across the sea and to transform them into its own unique brand of good fortune. Something to think about the next time you see that smiling face.